of jumping back into everything from what you guys remember, you all, after various travels, arrived in Willends. You all were reunited as cousins, and you spent, the first day going on a little errand and retrieving some wine for the owner of the vulgar pony, Nicholas. You all acquired a room, came across one of your first NPCs, other than Adriel, a half-orc named Zoom, kind of a beggar and urchin of the town. Mm-hmm. You all fought a massive crocodile after
being told it was only a large crocodile. He says a small crocodile and a large crocodile, but what he really meant was it was a supreme crocodile.
He meant supreme. Well, there are small crocodiles and then there are large crocodiles. They only come in two sizes.
King crocodile, which is what we fought.
They only come in two sizes.
They only come in two sizes.
They only come in two sizes.
But in the book, there was three sizes. There was the small one, and then the regular one, and then the king croc.
There's only two sizes.
There's four.
I did not know.
You all came back, and after dissecting your crocodile, you all sold off various parts, keeping some of them for yourself, and
we made a bunch of money off this.
made a lot of money. The entire evening was kind of filled with the smell of roasting meats, this fresh roasting meat.
I wonder what the crocodile smells like.
It's kind of tough. It's not as juicy as you think. It's more muscle than anything. A little bit tough. You all went back to your rooms and tried to get cleaned up in the local area.
Just a few little
Ended up having a little bit of issue with the vulgar pony communal bath. And after going back up to your room, you all went back with Zoom, Kalel, your acquired sprite friend, and Adriel into the woods where there's a small hot spring that Adriel had discovered and is kind of keeping to herself to make sure that it is not tainted with the local medicines.
Especially our foul, black, curly-haired, foul man.
Yes, hello. She went to sleep.
You came back, and after seeing two individuals who have kind of piqued your interest since the beginning, tried to have a conversation.
Didn't work.
It did not go as smoothly as you thought, but right as you were getting ready to leave, you, Talavin, stayed behind temporarily to see what it was that they were going to talk about. And with your high perception check, you managed to pick up that, for whatever reason, the dark-haired one seemed a little bit agitated. While the other one was being very calm, very, very smooth.
His mother raised him poorly.
Before you all went upstairs, a little note was slipped into the side of your boot from the blonde-haired individual who said you wanted to meet at dawn. Only one of you dreamed that night, where you met Corey Bay.
Corey Bay?
Corey Bay.
Oh my god, I don't have notes on any of it.
Just take notes now.
Who evidently was the spirit sent to guide your mother. You all come to consciousness the next day, went about various tasks, gathering herbs, medicinal.
Wait a second, that was that dream?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the night before.
Because I thought I made the notes on her note.
Maybe that's why you wrote Nani.
Nani? Nani?
Hold on. Faint sparkle before far side. Think.
And needless to say, it is now the fourth day.
Okay. Yeah.
Dawn is crested. Neither of you dreamed the night before.
I thought I dreamed. I'm so
We dreamed because then we had our filler day. And this is
you all.
that was the filler day.
Yeah, the third day was the filler day.
Oh yeah.
Are you better now?
Yes, I'm a little bit better, but I still don't know.
She's taking very thorough notes. I have to give her credit for that.
Hey, look, I'm not going to forget anything. Madison's gonna be like, what happened on that day? And I'll be like, this is exactly what happened.
And so, you all come to consciousness. There's no window in your old room.
It's probably
And it's not the, well, no, your prestidigitation kind of tidied up the room so it doesn't smell as foul and after you all managed to bathe.
I'm gonna prestidigitation that thing at least
all
7
day,
times
every
a day.
day.
Like,
You awake and it's not the dawn that wakes you. It's not the early morning cresting over the skeletal trees. It's low rumbling.
We will.
Thank you. We fight you. Evidently, there's activities already beginning outside. It is just barely dawn, and already it's going to shape up to be a very entertaining day. You all both get up, kind of stretch. Zoom is asleep on his cot on the ground, just curled up. He's even more tucked in than the night before. He's managed to kind of wrap himself in this kind of cocoon of blankets, pulling it up over his little half-orc tusks. Talil is also already up. He's actually doing some stretches and he's applying some stuff to his wings. Just kind of gives you all a nod in the morning.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning, Lee. He's just smearing some stuff on his wings.
is it the honey again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess I'll get up. I'll be kind of like, oh man, like I knew I wasn't gonna have a dream last night, but it was still disappointing.
I'm gonna look over at him to see the disappointed look on her face. I'm gonna be like, I was so tired that I didn't dream at all. Like, there's like drool on my face. I'm just like, bedhead everywhere. I'm like,
Wow!
just wake up like a zombie. I wasn't dreaming. Was I dreaming? Oh, darn it.
It's also at that moment that as you all are kind of stretching and getting ready, Zoom is kind of like starting to come to consciousness, but you all take a second and you kind of glance at each other and all of a sudden realize you all haven't seen each other in 8 years. The last that you heard of the other, you, Nora, the last that you heard, there was some kind of internal spat between your family and the others, and you hadn't heard from them in a while. Which, for elves, for elves, for half-elves, it's not uncommon to lose contact, you know, but there were rumors spread of perhaps something happened because there were multiple times where you tried to reach out and no contact was ever received. Thinking that, you know, the grudge possibly went deeper, nothing was pursued at the immediate future, in the immediate present, but now you see your cousin before you with a scar she did not have previously across her face, leading down into a collarbone.
Okay. So quick, I feel like this would kind of be a normal exchange because like I feel like being drow, it's kind of like you wouldn't talk about like the family feuds and stuff. Like it's more just like
Now you guys were about 11 or 12 at the time when you last saw each other. So yeah, when you last saw each other.
It's almost been 10 years. Because I'm 20.
No, you were 11 or 12. It's been 8 years. 12, 20.
Okay, well 12.
8. So you all being still kind of this youthful innocence, you all were aware that, you know, there was some kind of weird tension going on that, you know.
But it technically wasn't between our families. It was just like a weird tension in general.
There were some discussions being held. You're not sure about what. But for whatever reason, it seemed to cause some tension, and that's why you all went a couple years without making contact.
Gotcha. So
And I just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, do you want to go on a walk?
Yep.
Early morning.
I'm going to take my armor. I'm going to take my swords. And I'm going to take my daggers and my whip and my crossbow. And I'm just going to...
So also,
I'm leaving my room again with all my things.
I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
I don't find my stupid or something.
you have to re-roll it. It didn't land on
An 18.
What's up?
You said intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence saving throw.
Wait, it doesn't have like a plus. It's just 18. Do I add on to the 18?
For your intelligence?
Yeah. Yeah, intelligence at the top.
Oh, plus 4.
Yeah, you're proficient. You're proficient in smart.
22? As you all are, you're getting ready, you glance over kind of with the bedside table and the note is still there. The one sent to you from.
That was a good intelligence. It is dawn, isn't it?
It is it's just barely dawn.
Okay, hold on. I gotta take some notes. Oh, okay, so she's gonna ask me, but I guess I need to go feed the warrior. How about this? I'm going to go down, I'm going to check on my horse. Why don't you meet me downstairs in 20 minutes? And then we can go on a walk. I got to go take
You told me about the note, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you told me. I was like,
You all had a discussion. After kind of leaving perturbed a little bit, you immediately kind of bequeathed this information of like, oh my goodness,
yes,
they were talking
definitely.
about us afterwards, and there's something going on, but I got this note, and you all opened it up.
Is it his handwriting? Was it neat handwriting or was it sloppy? Because it's going to be a major time.
I think you
Sloppy.
asked that.
I
I thought you said it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like
It looks like
Madison
it looks like it was hurriedly scribbled under the table,
I guess I'm
but it's not. It looks like it was hurriedly scribbled, but there's a little bit of flair to.
So it's not Madison handwriting.
No,
So it's okay.
It's not.
It's
It's
okay.
not like my handwriting. No.
I'm sorry, Madison. Your handwriting. It's just too much for me. I can't.
It's fine. You won't be able to read my notes.
I don't know. I have practice.
They're encrypted.
I did read and interpret all of your writings in middle school.
That's true.
This is true. This should be like 6 pages long, and I'd be like, and it'd be 1 page. And that was it. There was like 6 pages in 1 page.
Yes. All right. So I guess since he gave you the note, I guess I'll
Come with me. I don't mind if you want to come with me.
I kind of want to come.
Oh, you come.
Although I'm gonna be cooler. I'm trying to be cool. I'm not cool.
I know, like, I want to be cool too, but then it's hard to be so cool. I'm not in real life. So it's like, how do you be something that you're just not?
We can practice. Okay. Let's be cool together.
Make a charisma saving throw. No, I'm kidding.
0. There's not even a 0 on the dice.
How do I add a negative modifier for this?
Is there a cool saving throw? Okay. So
You all
there's a hot
you
saving throw.
get dressed. Do you also get dressed in all of your armor
Yes, I
and
do.
everything else? With you all kind of rustling around Zoom, there's like when it comes to consciousness, and he kind of just digs his fingers into his eyes and just kind of wiping things away. You never noticed before, but he kind of has longer eyelashes.
Why do men always have the beautiful?
He just kind of has these like these thick kind of eyelashes. He kind of wipes away, and he just.
I bet his side profile is beautiful.
He does it very. He has little pointy tusks. They're not huge and protruding. They're just kind of.
They're like Ford. The Ford.
Alright, we'll be back.
See, we're not cool. He can be cool.
Okay, hang on. I'll be cool.
It looks
No.
like he's getting ready.
Oh no! I'm just going to check on my horse. We're gonna take a little walk, stretch our legs. Just kind of, alright, stretch out a little bit. That was not cool for me.
Okay, we'll try again. From this point on, we'll be cool.
I'm not gonna be
He kind of smiles, nods, and he kind of looks back at his cot and he kind of lays back and snuggles back in.
Okay.
He kind of makes a few hand
Look,
signs
see,
to.
She likes Zoom now. I've convinced her.
Yes, he's doing
He
it.
makes a few little hand signs to Talal. He's like, yes, good morning. And then they begin kind of conversing back and forth as you all.
Open
Yes.
doors. Full armor. Yeah, in case you come across anything.
You all go down kind of the slick-ish stairs, which actually with the more people who have kind of come and are beginning to traverse the stairs, it's not as slippery as it was before. There wasn't this kind of general slickness to the marshy swamp town residents. You all go downstairs. Funny enough, whenever you all go downstairs and kind of like look at the general vicinity, a lot of people haven't moved from the night before. There's still kind of like this rumbling and like this excitement going on outside. But as you kind of quickly glance about, the group that was playing cards over in the corner, they are passed out. The people who are standing kind of in the corners, one of them is actually still standing propped up.
Is it Nicholas?
No, it is not. Actually,
Nicholas
Nicholas is once again asleep at the bar. Face slammed into the side of asleep.
That's so nasty. He's gonna have like blue splinters, and that's what's his actual beard. It's actually what splinters are for.
Alright, so So we just, I guess,
You'll go outside, you open the door, head off to the left where the stables are. Immediately you can kind of hear Warrior.
Yes, my love. Oh, baby. Did you sleep well? Are you hungry? Do you want to go for a walk, Cease? I just want to love you forever.
okay, from here on we'll be cool.
He's going from place to place.
It's a work in progress.
We're just gonna get cooler and cooler. Right now it's like, we're just like, oh, so cute. And then we're gonna, one day we're gonna be like, you're not cute anymore. Not cute.
He tosses his head, his hair kind of flops in his face as he looks over at you.
Hair.
It's my weakness. His lips, he kind of like nibbles a little bit on your shoulder as you kind of go over and kind of give him a little stretch. Kind of gives you a little
the good under the chin stretch is the best one.
I'm just kind of standing to the side. I'm letting her have her moment.
Make a perception check.
First roll.
Oh god.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Oh, perception +6. Let me just get a 15 in here.
15. We have a collective 30. We're geniuses.
I rolled a 9 and I got a +6. I was like, oh.
I see everything. That's exactly what the one has a perception looks like. As you go over and you begin scratching, you kind of glance down at the other end, and you do see a certain blonde-haired individual who is also tending to his own steed. It's
His name is
not
still
as
Blondie, damn it.
Yeah, Blondie. Yeah, a certain blonde human. He's not wearing his hood. He's kind of like wrapped a scarf a little bit higher up. It's a little bit chilly this morning, so. But you all have your like armor, kind of like your all's like leathers and stuff. So you're not as cold as
We're
you
used
could
to
be.
cold.
You're kind of used to like the little bit cold, a little bit clammy.
So my character's not like me and is just like,
This is nice, man.
all the time. Oh.
And he's kind of tending to him, kind of glances over. I didn't think you'd actually make it.
I don't know what to say then.
Okay, take a deep breath. He's not real. Don't be
It makes
intimidated.
it worse. I don't know what to say to a real man. What am I saying to a fake one? I didn't think you would make it.
You hear as he's feeding his horse what looks like half of an apple that he was munching.
He's so sweet. He loves his horse. Do you have another one of those? I want one for my horse.
He reaches into his back pocket and tosses it.
Catch. Yes. Just
You're looking at making me roll for it. I know you have a high dex.
I know I do actually. Yes, and I'm going to catch it. And then I'm going to take a bite out of it, and then I'm going to give it to my horse.
Warrior looks at you like.
We share food all the time. Go get your butt over here.
He just kind of looks like. Really?
You're just going to take an apple from a stranger.
Yeah, he begins kind of munching. He still gives you half of the stink eye, but it's a very sweet, very juicy apple.
Yes, warrior, you have to share. Share. Sharing is caring, my love. He's a good boy. Get the scratch behind the ear. Where he left me.
I wanted to apologize for last night on behalf of my compatriot.
I mean, you know, everybody has their off days.
He has a few more than most. I just wanted to apologize.
Apology accepted. Nora. It was technically aimed at you.
He kind of glances at you. He's not the most eloquent of types.
We can't all be very eloquent.
Certainly not.
So cool.
He kind of brushes the hair out of his horse's eyes.
Stop trying to be cool. You're not cool. It's just
He gives a couple more chin scratches and approaches you guys. He's within like 5 feet or so. He's like, I don't really know if you all want some kind of explanation. It's a little bit more of a personal thing, and he would probably try to stab me in my sleep if I actually told you a few more things. But needless to say, you make him nervous.
stop trying to be so cool. I'm trying to be cool. Why would we make him nervous?
A few different reasons. And if you can't come up with those reasons yourself, well, That's unfortunate.
I mean, I know we're big and intimidating, but I mean, come on. Pretty nice folk. You don't bite unless you bite first.
He kind of gets this mischievous.
That literally just like
grin
came
on-
out
grin
and I
on
was
his
thinking.
face.
I was literally just thinking and it just like, whoop.
Yeah, no, he kind of gets
Mine.
this mischievous like quirk in his smile. He's just kind of glances at both of you. Like, there was another matter I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
A bit of a business proposition.
I'm listening.
Do you know where you're headed after this?
We're headed north.
North? So are we. We have a few things to pick up in one of the offshoot cabins, some of our supply. We're trying to take our wine a little bit further north.
And you need help transporting it.
I've always found their strength in numbers. And right now our numbers are not as, strong.
Yes,
I mean, with a bad attitude like he has, your friend has, I don't know why.
He has his moments, he has his skills. He's very useful.
There are bandits in the woods. We came across them when we were transporting the ale 2 days ago.
This is true.
Precisely. Which is why I think if you're moving north and we're moving north, traveling together might be advantageous.
I mean, as long as you don't mind. Well, I mean, I guess I will discuss it with my cousin first.
Oh, you're related. I didn't know that.
Yes,
Right.
we are.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Your name is Nora, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
She's very deceiving.
And you're Talavin.
Oh, God. Just do it. Are we gonna get the name out of you this time?
Do you want it?
Please.
My name is Jakob Reams.
How do you spell the last name?
R-E-A-M-S.
R-E-A-N-S?
R-E-A-M-S. Reams.
Like a fabric.
A-S.
R-E-A-M-S.
And what's your companion's name?
Wyatt. Wyatt Fowl.
Spell that F-O-W-L?
F-A-U-L.
A-U-L?
Yes.
F-O-W though. Foul.
But technically that's like a fowl, like a bird is F-O-W-L.
I know, I figured that out after I said it out.
Foul.
Once again,
Technically
no,
foul, like
cool.
you're a foul person, is like F-O-U-L? F-O-U-L is like a foul person, is it like a foul smell? F-O-U-L?
Foul.
Is my spelling correct on that? I'm just wondering. This is like a side,
Yeah.
me trying to remember how to
This is
spell
not
things
your
from like
SDJ,
kindergarten.
yeah. There's fowl, and foal. Which foal?
What's
like
foal?
Foal, like a baby horse, right? Foal.
Oh, foal! Yes, F-O-A-L, yes!
Why?
Wow.
Okay.
So many.
Jacob and, what was it?
Jacob and Wyatt.
I'm gonna.
Okay. They're a little sloppy. I got dark haired and blondie written down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Reams and, sorry. We're in person this time, by the way. Look at you now.
What?
What was the last name?
Oh,
Foul.
foul.
F-O-
F-A-U-L. F-A-U-L.
Ow. Okay.
Wyatt is an interesting character.
Interesting.
When we can get him to talk. Believe it or not, he's a lot more talkative now than he was when I met him.
So you all haven't known each other that long?
A few months here and there. We came across one another. Business brought us a little bit closer. Mutual interest kept us together.
Oh, so you make wine together?
Yes.
How long have you been making wine?
When you say making wine, do you mean like good wine or?
So you
some
used
of
to
our-
make bad wine, is
Our,
what I'm hearing.
our initial attempts were not as successful as initially anticipated. We finally found the right blend.
You gonna let me on in this secret blend?
That's not part of our deal.
Let's see. Well, we'll have to speak it over if we want to travel together.
Because we do have a few other companions with us.
I noticed.
Yes. But we will let you know.
We'll let you know by the end of the day.
Yes.
Since we were planning on heading out tomorrow.
Very well. He kind of grins, he's like, don't tell Wyatt. I told him I was going to get some help. I just want to see the look on his face.
I look forward to it.
Yes. Most definitely.
He kind of grins, gives a nod, and walks off.
Alright. Okay, we're good. So does he stay and keep tending to his horse? Or
Or does he leave?
No, he leaves. It looks like he's headed down to the marketplace.
Alright, so I guess as you're tending to Warrior, we just like
You all
We
see
can just
people,
chit-chat.
like, as you all kind of glance through the stables, as it's, kind of open, a little bit open, you do see everybody is starting to either migrate to the mosh pit, the giant area. You see people are loading stuff out, some of them are shouting back and forth. Everything's getting ready.
Curious, does the marketplace look like it has more options in it yet?
It is just cresting dawn. So far, not yet.
It's lazy swamp folks.
I know.
They get up so late.
It gets up so late. They're all
Is
just
it
a bunch
spring?
of ones.
It is getting into spring, so it's still like cold. It's still like late winter. Yeah. After this pretty good discussion, you all are now relatively alone. There's no one in the nearby vicinity.
Is it going?
Yes.
Sorry, I always get up twice to check.
I'm going to Grain Warrior, and then I'm going to like brush him a little bit, pick out his feet, make sure there's no stones, get any bruises.
You hear
As you do that, I'm gonna be like, so do you want to travel with them?
I mean, I do agree with the strength in numbers. And I mean, it's not like they're going to be traveling with us forever. I mean, they just might need help getting to the next town. I'm not opposed to it, but it would just depend on if Zoom and Talel are okay with it, or if Adriel's going to come with us too. We're just picking up all the strings.
Promise you.
Every single person that Madison makes up will come with us. She'll have to play 100 different characters.
You should see.
Okay.
And then she's going to kill all of them.
So I guess we would only get out of it the safety in numbers. Unless they give us some wine. We should ask for some wine.
I mean, I definitely think, because it was very good. Did you try any? Oh, you should have.
I was
It was
too
delicious.
miffed at Wyatt's behavior.
Little diva over there, I think it needs a little attitude adjustment.
Alright, well, we'll let him sweat for a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just let them know at the end of the day. We'll ask the Zoom and Talel as well, but I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I think we need to talk. Greatest way to start every conversation.
I feel like I'm talking to my dad. I haven't had the parent conversation in 10 years.
What is
6 years. What happened to you and your family?
Well, I mean, basically, we were just me and my brothers. We were out on just like we were out selling. We took some horses to a client, and we came back, and we thought everything was good, and then my older brother got us out of the castle, and then he was taken away. I guess our castle had just been overrun by I guess whatever, my family, they're not traditional enough for the drows. So they killed them, and me and my twin, we were the only ones that got away.
I would never tell his name.
Yes. And
I would.
I can't remember how this.
Bjorn. Bjorn?
No, that was the older one.
Taldinian. Taldinian.
Is that how you want to say it? Damn.
Yeah, tell them.
So Taldinian, do you know where he is?
Well, that's an even worse story. Basically, we traveled with a group for a few years and, learned some stuff, but he always just had this, anger after what happened, and some things happened, and we had quite a bit of a falling out because he wanted one thing, and I wanted something different. And there was a big fight, and then he gave me this, and I've not seen him since.
Oh my.
But what's new in your life?
We can't switch again. So you have no idea who attacked.
The only people we saw were just like the servants that lived in our home.
Mm-hmm.
They grabbed, our parents were dead. After we got into the city and our brother was getting us out, they were hanging on the walls, they were hanging up, they were dead, and then he got us out before they got him. It was just people that we knew that lived with us, basically. So
you actually saw them.
yeah.
And the older one, Bjorn.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him?
No, the last time I saw him, they were dragging him away.
Think there's a chance he's still alive?
I'd love to think that he got away or that he's somewhere in a better place than what I saw our parents in, so. But I don't know. I've never looked for him, I guess, which I guess is kind of a big regret of mine, but I feel like now it's just a little late.
Oh, you were so young at the time.
Yeah, and all I could ever think about was being there for my brother and just keeping him safe, because he was all that I had, but that didn't really end up in my favor. But, life goes on. I'll see him again one day.
Sorry. So this happened 8 years ago?
Yep.
That's because the last time I saw
6 years ago? 6 years ago. I was 14. It was a couple years after the last time we saw each
I
other.
haven't seen you in 8 years.
Yeah. It was
So young
it was
at
a
the
couple
time.
years after.
You always cause trouble with your brothers.
Oh, yes, we were. The mischievous ones. We did love to cause quite the commotion.
Yes, and then there's our parents' rivalry.
Well, we
Never got
have
along.
other rivalry.
Things did seem quite tense at our last meeting.
Yeah, but I don't know if that was between them or if it was between maybe like why whatever happened. It might have been, I don't know. Because I don't know. I never got to talk to my parents about it, and I never asked, so.
Are you looking for answers now?
Not really. I try to I look for answers, but not in a. My brother wanted answers more in so he could get revenge and, harm some of the people that harmed us, but more I wanted answers as to just why, I don't know, we just had different views on it. He wanted revenge and I almost didn't. I just wanted to help those understand why we were doing what we were doing. But, everybody's different. I just wanted, after it happened, I only really wanted to protect my brother. That was my only mission in life. And now I just want to protect other people from my brother, honestly. He's crazy. No.
Do you think he'll actually get his revenge?
Maybe, but I hope to maybe prevent that. Because, I feel like he's just angry and he doesn't know where to put that anger. And so he thinks that just by being angry and being revengeful is what's going to help him understand why what happened. And I don't think that that's the answer.
Do you think you'll ever go back to your home?
I don't really have a longing to go back. If I end up there one day.
Do you know? If we happen to end up close by.
But no, I don't think I really have like a longing for that life, or like, it seems just like it was a different person then than I am now. And it just seems like something completely separate than what I am now, so.
At this point, I'm gonna kind of like walk up to Warrior, and because I would have seen him whenever we were together, like he would have been.
Because that would have happened.
Yeah, I'd be like,
you guys.
I'm gonna kind of hold my hand out just a little bit and like ask him like, can I touch you? Yes.
Oh, are you using your ability?
Oh yes.
Oh, you can talk to him?
I can talk to him. You're like, may I touch you?
Of course. Oh, please don't make him sound.
How do you want his voice?
I don't know. Like Ford's voice, like how he does it. His so deep and gravelly and lovely and just.
Of course.
I'm like, you've grown quite a bit.
Certainly have.
You must have grown.
You don't know what he sounds like. You've grown as well.
It's good to see you again. Are you quite happy?
I'm suspicious. She keeps giving me sugar.
Because I love you so much.
You don't know what he's saying. only she. Yeah.
No, I
was
just
like
him.
There's no ulterior motive, right?
I don't think so. I'm gonna be like.
He gives like a suspicious look at both of you now.
I'm just gonna kind of be like, oh, he's just been very good lately, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's
been
always
giving
a
him a lot of
dream.
sugar lately.
He's trying to fatten me.
I'd be like, I think you're fine. I kind of like scratch under his chin a little bit. Yes, a little like this. The small hairs.
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to know anything, would you?
About what?
A little stable talk, eh?
Stable talk.
What are you listening to in the stable?
Was there any news in the stables before you all left home?
Oh, you mean like the dark-haired one being over there?
The dark-haired one.
The one you call White. Yes, White.
He's stalking us. That's lovely.
I'm just gonna kind of look over my shoulder.
Make a perception check.
But he just told me he was there.
With advantage.
11.
Okay, 11 plus 4 is 15.
Wait, so I don't hear any of this, so I'm just brushing him quietly?
You don't hear anything.
Well, what was your roll?
15.
15? You look over your shoulder? Don't say anything.
I look back, I'm like, is he still there?
Yes.
I don't look again. That would look too weird.
He kind of does this and
I'm kind of like mumbling this because I'm like speaking in Horse or just in Horse?
You are speaking in this kind of. It sounds like you're kind of snorting and speaking.
Okay, I'm doing it very quiet. Like
no, you're doing like. I'm just kind of like. Yeah.
I'm gonna just be looking at you while I'm brushing. I'm
doing it very quietly.
There's Nora talking to my horse.
I'm like, well, thank you for telling me that, but
I am so cool.
I'm so cool, guys.
I'm cool and like in the Rings when he's like speaking beautifully when Aragorn's like speaking Elvish to the horse. And so, it's like I don't think that's what this looks like. I want it to be like that because it's cool.
Yes, yes.
I want to be a horse baby.
Oh, please. Let's be as cool as Aragorn. Speaking of English.
I'm working
But I'm gonna.
I was like,
Hair flip.
thank you for telling me that. Do you happen to remember before you left your home, your original home, where you came from?
Kind of thinks for a second.
I always forget I can speak to animals.
I remember.
What happened?
Noises. Just chaos and noises.
I see.
Shakes his name.
I'm sorry, that must have been hard.
Her pain was harder.
Oh, you do care about her, don't you?
Me, Sophia, crying.
He kind of the feathers on his wings kind of bristle. It's like, of course.
Aw. I'm gonna say to
soulmate right now.
Yes, I'm gonna say to her, I'm like, man, he really loves you.
I'm just going to like, I'm brushing his rump right now. I'm gonna scratch him at the very top.
His tail kind of swishes.
It's my little love muffin. I love you so much.
I'm speaking to him again. You're very loyal and very worthy of her.
I endeavor to be.
I'm falling in love with my animal. Well, I'm really in love with him. It's just my precious baby. People in the show are gonna be like, oh my god, she's a psycho animal crazy lady.
Oh, I mean, they're right.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, gotcha. Like, so you didn't see anything or heard noises?
Kind of nods his head.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry that happened. You're a very kind but strong spirit. You can't take me, yeah! I'm free! Yeah. Alright, so I really like a warrior. He's a decent guy.
Yeah! Yes, my most loyal companion, my bestest friends.
How long would it take to druid craft some sweet hay? Is sweet hay?
Yeah, well, usually it's like there's like Timothy and there's alfalfa is like
molasses.
the two.
They like molasses, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Usually like you have to put it on something like you do like oats and then you have like molasses and you like put it in a ball and it's like a little treat.
Okay, can I do like one and one?
No, I think molasses is it naturally occurring?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, because usually druidcraft is like a plant.
Technically,
And not just
it comes from a plant.
So you'd have to craft a plant in order to get the.
If you just give them some oats,
I'll give them some oats. Wait, can I?
Or just like.
It'll be like the stem coming out of my hand and oats at the end.
I'm trying to think like what you could like make that would just be like.
Because I can't just druidcraft an apple. I'd have to do like a whole tree and then.
Yeah.
I mean, you could carrots. They come straight up the ground like a plant. You could give them like a carrot.
I'm just gonna do.
Just
have
like
carrot like. Whoa.
Make a nature check.
Six.
Plus nature. I think I'm.
11.
Okay, yeah, 11.
You start thinking about like the druid crafting, like and you begin like kind of focusing, and instead of your palm, it like begins like growing out of the tip of your finger, and you're like, as you kind of look and
I hold it down, like I'm trying to keep it on the DL.
I'm just gonna like glance over and see. I was like,
I have an extra knuckle, extra long finger.
You kind of take it, and it doesn't smell quite right.
I'm not gonna give it to him. Just gonna like.
I'm just gonna like reach into my pouch and like grab a sugar cube and just like hand it over.
He's like so suspicious.
I'm gonna be like, try this instead.
He kind of looks at you and he's like,
look, buddy, she was about to give you a carrot that just grabbed her finger.
You didn't see that.
Be grateful.
I was doing it sneakily.
oh, were you?
Were you?
Yes. I still got my hand down.
Well, I mean, she's brushing like, relatively close.
Alright, cool. You like
He
it's
looks.
not a drink. You've been very good. I go bad. No, like.
Rears up, starts fucking no.
And then I die.
Triple die.
One strike to the head.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, nice word. Be like, we'll be heading out tomorrow.
I look forward to it.
Yes.
Don't like this area.
It's
a little moist.
Moist.
So I'm gonna be done brushing him,
I'm done.
and I'm gonna like I'm gonna like be standing in front of him, just because I mean I talk to him and he kind of answers me, I guess, a little bit. I'll be like, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to walk around a little bit before all the nasty people are out and about?
Shakes. You gotta get the vibe like, might not.
Okay.
Like he's pretty comfortable and kind of warm. It's still a little bit chilly this morning. Even though he did kind of grow up subterranean, the hay is very warm. It's kind of like pressing.
I'm gonna make sure there's a little more hay, and I'm gonna give him some fresh water. And then I'm gonna premeditation the water just to make sure it's clean. Because this place is disgusting.
Make a perception check with me.
I also need to speak to you.
Okay, this is neat. Called in the corner. Oh my god. This thing is like trying to mess me up. You said perception?
Yep.
20. A natural 20.
Oh gosh. My back is to the stall, so I guess that's why I didn't.
Unnatural 20?
Unnatural.
Yeah, unnatural 20.
Otherwise it'd be 20.
You, as you're like packing everything up, you're familiar with like the sounds of barns and stuff. You hear the other horses, kind of in their stalls, and above your head you hear something.
Above my head.
You look up.
Yes, I'm gonna look up. Is there a dragon?
There's actually a little hatch up at the top, and you see a boot.
Is it
looking
quiet?
You don't see it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see anything.
You didn't
So
see it.
is there like a roof, like a
Yeah,
flat
there's-
roof?
It's kind of like a partially steep roof. So it's not a pointed roof. It's kind of a slanted roof.
The actual stable.
The stables, yeah.
So like it's attached to the side and it's like a slanted roof, but when you're inside it looks like it's flat because there's like storage up here.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It's right above my horse's head.
Like you hear something and you glance up and there's a hatch.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. I was like, he'll be slinking in and out of my horse's stall. He's gonna get this.
Yeah.
Why was there? He heard your whole backstory.
Oh,
Why didn't we say it before?
You didn't look up.
just because you're sitting here talking to my horse and not telling me that he's telling you that there's a people standing around.
Well, I knew there were people. I don't want to say it out loud.
Well, you should have told me. Perception check. Look at this.
Only you hear it, but you hear.
He walks away.
But no, his boots is hanging. Did you get up?
No, you saw the glimpse of a boot getting outside of the latch up top and see it close. As the boot kind of
Little
leaves.
stalker ass boy's gonna get his ass kicked. He does not cut it out.
We should kill him. Wait, we don't kill him. Well, yeah, we do.
Jacob's about to be just Jacob. No Wyatt.
No, Wyatt's for Jacob. Just Jacob.
The only way we're traveling with you is if Wyatt leaves.
You must choose.
You must choose us or him. I'm gonna just keep it to myself. I'm just gonna be like,
You don't tell her? Okay, so we
well,
both.
she didn't tell me, so you know what?
We both knew he was there. We just didn't say anything.
She don't want to. If she doesn't want to share, I'm not gonna share.
You don't know that.
I did
anything's
have a
wrong.
message. I could have. Wait a second. So, hang on. A question.
Yeah.
So, if I did message, mind texting,
Yeah.
and I was speaking to Warrior, could she technically hear Warrior?
No.
Like through my thoughts?
No. Message is different than
Okay. Gotcha.
than what you have.
I was just curious.
The way you speak to animals, that's not a spell. That's just kind of an innate part of your heritage.
Backstory. Okay, gotcha. So. Anyway, we're good.
Okay, I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm just going to like nudge her and point up at the hatch. I'm gonna be like, there's somebody out there.
I'm gonna do the message cantrip this time.
Yeah, because I can't do
It's
it.
only in the mind.
You have to point kind of in the direction of whoever the message
That's
is
the point.
to. Just right here.
I could like just kind of point to her and just be like in the mind. It's like you in my mind. You heard someone.
And I'm just gonna be like,
You can answer.
oh, I can answer. Yes, I did.
You don't have to whisper in your mind. They can't hear us.
It's true.
I'm like, I think it's the dark haired one.
Is he being a stalker?
Quite. That means he may have been listening in on our whole conversation.
Well, that's rude.
He may have heard what Jacob said too.
Oh my. Looks like that boy's gonna get the knife to stomach in his sleep.
Should we say
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and be like, we'll confront him later.
Okay.
Sneak around me again.
I'm going to take my scimitar and go up.
Over blast. Destroy the entire room. Lightning turbine of our shit.
In retrospect.
As you're riding away.
Nicholas. Give me my gold back. I want my chest. Never. It's mine. Fine.
At this point, you all hear the.
If you're walking. Oh, I see.
Okay, can we pause? Can we pause for a second?
So,
Because we're cool,
and you
we
all
don't.
are beginning to hear, just kind of
All like the Urukai marching.
Some people are beginning to pound on things. You hear, some multiple shouts.
Do you want to go investigate, or do you want to walk around some more? I need to ask you some questions. Do you want to walk around, or do you want to go investigate this mosh pit, or do you want to take a stroll?
Let's investigate the mosh pit.
Well, somebody doesn't want to share. I'm gonna get things suspicious. Suspicion roll.
Suspicious. I'm gonna have to lie to you, or not lie. I'm gonna have to. I've told.
I was being so honest.
I know,
But I
but
didn't have to start lying.
I'm sorry. I just won't mention Jasper, just for Sophia's sake. For Sophia, I can't mention Jasper because I've never told anybody about Jasper.
I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, I didn't tell her that I'm a blood hunter and I have a
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna. We'll look into it.
Well, one thing
Technically, I have a voodoo doll following me
that
around.
she had said that kind of stuck out in her mind was the dreams.
Yes, she did, but I don't.
Did I mention the dreams?
You did.
You did.
Like 3 minutes into you all seeing one another.
I had a dream and I told you wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
like, how did you I mean, like, I had a dream about it, and she was just like,
But technically, I'm a Calistar, so technically I have dreams about stuff in general.
technically, you
So technically she wouldn't know.
Calistar don't really dream though. They enter a separate plane, and the experiences of other Calistar come to them, and so they're
Okay, well maybe she thinks that I
So-
entered into a plane and my dead mother's spirit came and told me about it. She doesn't know.
Well,
And technically, does she even know I'm a blood hunter? I haven't used any of my powers, so technically she doesn't know I'm a blood hunter either.
Yeah, you don't know what it is that she's been doing. All you know is that she's been training and doing some stuff. But the dreams, like even then, like you being familiar with the family, you've never really had dreams in the past. And you all talk whenever you all would come to family gatherings. You all would talk about stuff. I mean, as much as 12-year-olds do. 12 years old.
12-year-olds.
But
I don't even remember.
you
would have been disciplined.
you would experience very vivid dreams, and oftentimes they would be of the Feywild, of your times there, all of the different colors, the bright.
So technically I know she dreams.
You know she
She knows that I don't dream.
and the fact that you said
That I had a
you
dream. Okay, well then I thought so.
that raises a little thing in the back
So
of
the
your
thing
head.
is, I don't want her to ask me about my dreams because she knows that I dream. But if I ask her, then she might ask me, and then I don't want to lie to you. I'll just lie by omission. Because I love you.
You don't love me.
Because I love.
You don't love me.
I love, babe.
You don't really love me.
You are my only friend.
But apparently I'm not your good enough friend that you can lie to me.
By omission. It's not different. But... Alright, let's go.
I'm just gonna leave it, even though I wanted to talk to her about her. I'm just gonna be like, no, that's fine, because you don't want to share. And then she just goes really with me. It's fine.
At this point, you actually hear, "Well, good morning to you."
Oh, it's Adriel!
And you see she's coming. She has a couple of buckets of water kind of at her side, and she's like, "Y'all getting excited?"
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely
Well,
interested to see what a bunch of
sideways past
swamp
me.
people mosh pit looks like.
It's entertaining, I'll tell you that. And all I know is I finally have something to bet.
Oh, she does get some little gold here and
Nicholas
there.
doesn't pay half as much as what you all have in the past few days. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
So are you going to just be betting today, or are you going to join in?
Goodness, no, I'm gonna be getting in the fight.
Well, I can't wait to watch.
And she kind of cracks her knuckles a little bit and she's like, I have a score to settle with another one of those rejects. And she just kind of pours the water into each one of the stalls and she's like, are you all going to be fighting today? I'd be interested to see what you all are like in combat.
Lord. Well, I don't really know yet. I don't know yet. I'm gonna like see how it goes, see what I'm feeling. Stretched out, I'm still waking up the muscles.
Well, I could change your mind. Maybe we could team up. Every once in a while you can get a couple of pairs, go in, 2v2, 3v3, a couple of interesting individuals, and usually, if a challenge is accepted, you can challenge anybody. As long as it's accepted.
I'm just gonna one-on-one fuck Wyatt's life up, being a little snippy
I
snoop.
challenge to low.
He's injured!
That was Mackenzie. That would be a very non-Nora thing to say.
And at this point you kind of hear this creak, and you kind of see peering around the corner your half-orcish friend.
Oh,
Zoom. As he kind of looks around the corner, he sees Adriel and kind of like tries to be like, hold it! Don't! I see that look in your eye. You're gonna no.
And I'm just gonna be watching
And he
him.
kind of shies away a little bit as he's kind of like waiting by the door. He makes a couple of hand signs. No! You are still hurt. You still have stitches. She kind of goes over and kind of gives him a partial punch on his side, and he kind of winces and kind of grabs at it.
She's so mean, but it's so motherly.
I should it.
And so she kind of grabs him by the ear and kind of gives him a little tug out from behind. At which point you actually hear, hold it, don't, careful.
Oh, Noelle is with him. It's like a little trio of love.
And he's actually kind of like resting kind of on his shoulder, kind of, he's wrapped up a little bit in his scarf as he's kind of like, I don't have too many furs and be careful. Kind of peers out and says, I figured some fresh air would do me some good morning.
Good morning. How do you spell peers? I don't know. Peers? P-E-R? It looked weird to me, so I was like,
Well,
peers.
it could be like peers, like your fellow people.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Okay.
we talk about stuff.
You're taking very good notes. Very good notes.
Okay. Would you like to go look at the riot, I suppose?
The riot.
Zoom kind of looks pleadingly for a moment at Adriel, and she just kind of gives him this really harsh stare. And
Keep an eye on him.
as she turns and walks away, he kind of goes,
He's like a little child.
It's like, folds
It's
his
like when
arms.
your girlfriend tells you no and no more Xbox.
I do ship it. Alright. So
I
I'm gonna
definitely
walk
ship it
out.
now.
I'm gonna walk out and just kind of look over. I guess there's like a huge group of people.
There's a huge group of people, and you're beginning to hear, oh, yeah! Just kind of like
So like, where is this in the town?
This is behind the Vulgar Pony. So where you took Warrior on your second day, whenever you were like combing him out, there's a place maybe 100 feet or so from the Vulgar Pony that kind of dips down. This is where you found like the wagon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just kind of dips down into the earth. Just kind of massive area. The ground is still a little bit frozen, but
For now.
as you all are walking, there are a couple times where the ground kind of cracks beneath your feet, and there's just kind of this moisture that kind of bubbles up from underneath. And you're like, ooh, this is going to be interesting.
It's like gross creme brulee.
Just like a little pause. I saw this video. And it was like these guys, they were playing soccer, right? But the mud was like literally knee deep. Like it was knee to thigh deep mud. And they would literally have to like
pull their leg out of the mud to kick the ball and then dip their leg back in and like try to like move. And they were just like throwing themselves out of the mud like dolphins out of water. It was so funny. And there was like a caption underneath and it was like, and you thought your home field was bad or like your practice field was bad. And I was
You
like,
think your practice field was bad? Just take a look at this. Oh,
it was
that is disgusting.
so hilarious. That's just like what I'm envisioning in my head.
It's not that bad. It's not quite that bad, but as you look the ground, you're like, a nice hearty smack against the ground might deal a little bit of more damage than, a simple fist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over and just kind of try to find a break so that way I can like see, but I don't have to get too close.
Yeah, there's still plenty of spaces.
Okay, good.
Everyone's still waking up, but the ones who kind of sobered up a little bit faster are the ones who are already out there. And you figure that the crowd is going to only get bigger from this point on.
Okay, I want to do like a perception, see if there's anybody that we recognize from the town.
Sure, go ahead.
Or just in general, if I notice anything going a little sus.
Going with those.
Well, that's a garbage throw. That's a 10.
10 stars.
You do recognize several of the people, actually 2 of them who are in the pit are ones who actually bought the crocodile eye from you all.
Okay.
And for a moment you kind of feel like, nice. And then you realize that they only just tried to strap it onto themselves without tanning it before trying to turn it into some kind of armor. So it's slightly dried, but it looks like they just used belts to try and fashion it onto their torsos in order to give them some kind of protection. And you see one of them, take a big swing. The other one kind of tackles him to the ground. You hear his head against the ground, which there's a very thin layer of like ice and mud, and he just managed to hit one of the things, and you hear kind of groan. You hear the crowd, yeah. And they're like 3 to 1, 3 to 1. Calling out different numbers.
I'm just watching.
Zoom takes his hood, kind of pulls it up over top of his ears and his head, and is kind of keeping close to you guys. And you see him kind of like peering out and kind of asking him, different questions. He'll like nod or shake his head. So he seems kind of curious. You all can't hear him because his voice doesn't carry very well. But you see Adrielle, like she's actually walked off to the side, and she actually comes out and she has these leather gloves that she just kind of is strapping on to herself. And along the edges, you can actually see some crocodile scales.
Hey!
She
spent her day off well.
Yes.
So she kind of fashions them on. She's like, they're not as dry as I wanted them to be, but this ought to help protect my hands whenever I get another one too.
I was
Only hold one too.
And she's like, I'm debating whether or not I want to fight Nicholas or not.
He fights.
How do you think he lost his tooth?
I just thought he was just a nasty man. He just ate bad things and his teeth were lapping out of his mouth.
No, that's
That
certainly
swamp water
not.
ale doesn't look like it's actually good for you.
Believe it or not, it's actually a pretty good wake-up call. If that doesn't
as
get
long
you
as
big
you don't have
trouble.
an axe with it, I might want to give him lots of good throw punches.
She kind of looks over and you hear another poof, 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 as the one guy who has strapped the crocodile
So not
hide
both
onto
of them have the crocodile?
Both of them do. One of them kind of looks like a little bit better fashioned, but it still has not been dried. Like one of them literally just put a belt over top of the over the hide in an effort to kind of like strap it onto himself, and then the other one, it kind of looks like he kind of cut a hole in one of the pieces
It's like
and
a
have
poncho.
it. Yeah, it's like a poncho. Yeah, he just kind of has it like strapped over himself. So for the most part, it seems to be helping. But both of them, when their fist just cracks against it, I mean, it's just jagged, and their knuckles are starting to bleed as they're pop, 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 just going after one another. And finally, one of them winds up a fist and gives a kick, a nice swift kick, and you hear oh as the guy, his knees buckle and he can't get back up. Another guy raises his fist as the other one kind of waves him off. And they're like, yeah, and coins become dispersed among the crowd.
So the better fashioned one,
The
one that's ponchoed.
one that's ponchoed got.
Okay,
He's
so
the
the
one-
one
he's
that's
the
just
one-
got randomly
Yeah,
strapped
the
on.
randomly strapped guy actually managed to win that particular fight. And as you kind of peer a
And
little
he
bit
kicks
closer,
him where?
right between the legs, just came in. It looked like he was getting ready to come down like over top of his head, and then just raised his leg, whack, which is actually where the armor did not come.
Not gonna make that mistake twice.
And so they hear, next round! Anybody! And so a couple other people kind of like raise their hands.
I think Mel's very strong.
And so they enter the pit. Bets 2 to 1. And kind of, you see one guy actually has what looks like leather armor. He's kind of got this sandy brown hair. It's kind of, not quite bowl cut, but it's long, and then it looks like he just went to the nearest piece of wood, just kind of hacked off what would be his bangs, just so that it was out of his eyes. It was just shaggy all in his hair, and he just kind of cut off that little piece.
Okay.
And the other guy comes out.
So the first guy he's just got regular armor on.
Yeah, it just looks like he has some like regular leather armor. Maybe he got it from a crocodile, maybe not. Maybe the scales are just worn off. You're not sure where he got it, but it seems to be better fashioned than just strapped on with belts. It actually looks like there are latches and places
buckles.
where buckles where
Sorry.
everything is kind of fashioned on. Yeah, nice and shifty.
A little shifty.
And then someone else kind of slides down into the pit, which actually looks like one of the card players who you saw from the night before.
Yes.
And so he, kind of goes in. They're like, bare knuckles. Like, no magic, just your armor on your back. Ready? Go!
What does the second one look like? You didn't describe him.
The second one, he actually, his ears are kind of pointed, just a little bit pointed. He has kind of long, very kind of slick black hair. It looks a little bit thin, but it's kind of fishbone braided down his back. And he immediately kind of goes into like a defensive position. It looks like, he's hyper focused. He kind of has thin eyebrows, kind of thin, narrow features.
Is he pretty?
Sure. Yeah, it's 2 to 1
No, I'm not
against the kind of elven featured individual.
And so what does the first guy look like? You just said he had regular armor on.
He's human, kind of has more square features, kind of stocky looking.
You said he
And
had blonde
he
hair?
has like this sandy brown hair,
Bowl cut.
which it's not
Bad
not a
bangs.
completely bowl cut. Like some of it is just kind of like hanging down by his shoulders, but the way it grows, it looks like it just like comes and hangs in his face. And for the fight, he actually just kind of went over to the nearest piece of wood, kind of laid it against, and just hacked it from the top.
I'm gonna call my hairstylist for this man.
Whew, that's a little hair flip.
Alright.
So you said the rules are bare knuckles, no magic, and then you said one
Yeah.
other thing.
Yeah, just bare knuckles, no magic, just the leather, or just the armor on your backs, ready to go.
No
Okay.
weapons either.
Yeah, no weapons, just bare knuckles.
What about crocodile knuckles? Sorry.
Adriel kind of looks, she's like, technically this counts as armor.
Technically.
Armor for my arms. Hopefully this will give a little bit of more, scrape them up just a little.
Gonna knock all of Nicholas's teeth out. Maybe knock that one out that he plays with and just lose
Oh
it.
no, that's his lucky tooth. He manages to find that every time.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm going to, if it falls out again, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm going to crush it.
Is it the original each time? He uses other people's
Yeah, other people's teeth and
He has
takes are his
a
own teeth.
molar, sticks a molar, but this looks right.
There is a similarity between all of the teeth, so it does seem like it is his tooth.
They're all the
every
same
time.
color.
Yeah, they're all the
That's
same
the
kind of,
same.
the same kind of hue, the same teeth.
Black teeth.
Alright.
Never seen them once. So the fight commences, and instantly, kind of the elven featured one kind of leans back, and the one kind of comes in with a wide swing, manages to duck out of the way, and they begin brawling back and forth. Make a perception check.
Come on.
Okay.
I see. Do I see?
15.
You both kind of, in this instinctual moment, both of you kind of like roll your shoulders and glance behind you, and you can actually see, from where you're standing, you can glance over and you can see the back of the vulgar pony, and along the side, which kind of faces the barracks and further to the town, so kind of at the far side, not where the stables are, on the opposite side.
Let me look.
Pulls up a map. You actually see two figures. One of them kind of has the other one up against it, and it looks like...
So like right here, like in between the residence hall and the vulgar pony?
Yeah. From
Okay.
there you kind of see two figures. Kind of, they're very close, and one of them kind of looks like they're like leaning into the other. You see one of them kind of, making a couple of hand gestures.
Okay, I'll glance back from the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it the dudes?
It seems like it.
It's the dudes.
Yeah. You can't make out everything that's going on, but...
Okay, yeah, so Wyatt totally heard. Can I make, what would it be insight to just kind of be like, oh, he probably found out?
You can kind of insinuate... insight is more like, you're a little bit up close and personal. You can make an intelligence check to see if you can come to that conclusion.
I will come to that conclusion because it makes sense. I just want to know for sure. I'm smart! I'm smart! We smart! Me is smart! 17! Me smart!
It seems like they are having some kind of argument, and it could very well possibly involve what Jacob talked to you about earlier.
Who, can we tell who's up against the wall? Like
At this distance, with that perception check, you can't really tell who is who, but kind of based on the overall clothing, it's
one's not taller than the other?
They're both tall. I mean, they're both kind of taller, but it looks like the one the one of them has the hood up, and that's kind of more similar to Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt's probably the one attacking, because he's the angry one. He's so angry and he's emotional. We didn't know he was there!
He's so emotional, he needs to just calm down.
Why was he there?
I'm gonna do this so that I can tell her. So I don't have to keep going. It's always like further back than I realize. I'm like, so many pages!
Alright, I don't have any kind of mirror, do I?
You all are hearing, oh, and actually you can see now the elf, or the elven featured individual has wrapped himself around the guy's back and kind of has him in this like partial headlock. His feet are kind of tripping him up as he's kind of grappled him on the back, and he's like trying to reach around, trying to grab it, and he manages to grab a hold of his braid and kind of yanks. And
his braid?
Yeah.
He grabs his hair?
He grabs his hair and he yanks back in here as he kind of punches him in the throat, and the guy kind of grabs at his throat.
Wait, who punches who in the throat?
So the one with the elven features is on the other guy's back. And so as sandy blonde bowl cut reaches back, kind of grabs his hair, the fishbone braid, kind of yanks forward, kind of winces, and as he's got him in this headlock, he reaches around and punches him right in the throat.
elven one?
The elven one punches the human in the throat, just and he at which point, it looks like he kicks the back of his knee, and he kind of begins collapsing onto the ground.
The elven one hits him in the knee?
Yeah, the elven one kind of kicks him in the back of the knee, and he kind of begins stumbling backwards. He just can't get a really good grip on this guy. He's not as tall, he's probably at least average height, but he's very lean. He's not as bulky. And so it seems like whatever he's doing, he's being a lot more flexible.
Dex versus strength. No. Is he jujitsu styling it? He's like, wow, I got
it seems like he's using some kind of hold, and then it kind of looks like he begins wrapping himself in a different way and begins kind of pressing his forearm into his jaw, just kind of leaning into it, and the guy's like, ah, and you hear the crowd, ah! And you hear some people, no, we want to see blood, we want to see blood.
So this elven guy, he's just like wrapped around like his...
Yeah, he's basically constricting the guy. And then whenever he fell back onto the ground as the guy's kind of gagging, he repositioned himself, and so now he's kind of on top and he's kind of pressing himself into the guy's front.
Impressive.
So like he's still on his back though. Like he's still like his front is on towards his back, or did he like
He
go around?
repositioned and now he's in front.
So they're facing each other.
Yeah, they're facing each other. But the one guy is grappled on the ground.
Is he like on his knees or is he on his back?
He's on his back.
Very important details.
Yeah, he's on his back, and it looks like, whenever he tumbled, he was able to like reposition himself along the front, and he's just kind of leaning.
So he's like into his throat?
Yeah, into his throat, kind of on his chin. He's either trying to choke him out or just get him to cry uncle something. He's like pressing into his jawline. At which point you actually see the two figures from the side. As you all kind of like glance back over, you see them both approaching at the same time toward the pit on the opposite side. So you guys are kind of like, if this is like kind of like the round pit, you guys are here and they begin kind of walking off this way.
Okay.
I don't have any way to hear what they're saying, but that's okay.
I don't think I do either. I don't have
My character's
anything.
a little more neutral. Just a little bit.
It's me as a neutral.
I cast Shadow around him.
And you hear a couple people kind of booing, like, no, I want to see blood! Like, this, pound him! Knock out his teeth! You kind of see the...
I'm kind of just like folded, my arms are folded, I'm just like looking around, I'm just kind of like smirking, and I'm just kind of like...
At which point you actually see that he will kind of like shrug it off and kind of raise his head and kind of cracks into the album feature guy, and kind of rears back for a second, but he still maintains his grip.
His features are extra fine.
Yeah. Yeah, as he kind of rears back, you can see like he got.
So he
cracked.
headbutted him?
Yeah, he headbutted him, and now his brow is kind of like cut a little bit. Kind of, there's like this nice bruise.
But he's still pressing his arm?
Yeah, he kind of reared back, and then now is like pressing even harder, and finally the guy kind of starts tapping, and he releases his grip, kind of stands, waits for a second, and then you're He kind of gives a slight bow, kind of glances at you two, gives this kind of curious look, and then keeps going.
We're just getting all the looks, man.
We're drow. Drow don't go out in public.
I know, but like I don't even look drow. Like I'm like tannish with like lavender undertones.
Well, I look like a drow.
If you glance around, the vast majority of the people here are human.
Makes sense.
Just as you would need to roll a perception, like your passive perception as you all kind of glance around. The vast majority are human.
Well,
like,
I've always
so far
felt out of place.
So you've seen the
I'm used
fishbone braid
is like the only
and Adriel. Both of them seem to be the only ones who also possess the
Let's
elven
go get
ears.
No.
Let's get the end, but I'm busy.
We don't need any more.
Says the one who's like, we're gonna get 100. You just want the
I mean, technically he does have good grappling skills. I'll give him that. He has good grappling skills. But Bowl Cut is not coming with us. I don't... Somebody that does not take care of his
laying
hair.
on the ground, like, what just happened? And then you see one of them kind of give him a half hearted kick, like, dude, you gotta get up. and he just kind of shakes his head, like, no. And then eventually they just kind of lift him up, like, come on. And a couple of guys kind of pat him on the shoulder, and he kind of looks really disappointed, very crestfallen. He's like, gosh, wow. Because, in comparison, yeah, he's about 1.5% size of the guy that you saw. His shoulders are very broad in comparison, and he's much more muscular in comparison to the fishbone braid.
Laying in mud in the feet. Shook it.
I see. Well, I'm not planning on fighting, just so you know. I'm not going to fight. It's not my character. It might be kind of fun, but my character wouldn't. What the fuck am
I can't convince you to fight with me. If I can convince Jacob and Wyatt to fight, how about we tell them if they can beat us, then we'll go with them. Even though we already agreed that we were going to go with them, that they can go with us. But what if we have to tell them just to prove that they're even worthy to go? Because what if they're just two useless humans?
I don't
that
think
make
they are.
wine?
I don't think they are.
But it would be good to find out.
I don't want to
What
fight
they're capable
them.
of. But I want to find out what they're capable of because if they're fucking useless, and I want to beat the shit out of Wyatt for being a little snoopy snoop.
What if you lose?
At which point you actually do see, as they're clearing out the next bit, they're like, who's next? And you actually see Jacob kind of raise his hands like, we're going.
Yes!
Hang on.
I have to pause.
He kind of looks over at Wyatt, and he's kind of
Wait, hold on.
glances over and he kind of says something. What are you doing?
I can see myself in your mirror. Look, I was like, hey, look, hey. I need to pause it. Back again.
Jacob, are we gonna see the fight?
Yes. Please take off your shirt.
Wait. What if they challenge us? If they challenge us, then I'll accept.
I mean, that's what, because me and my husband were talking in the early morning, and she was partially asleep, and she was like, what the fuck is challenge you? And I'd be like, I feel like I know this is what. But it is what it is. Even if Adriel challenges us, we're like, I don't know.
But there's like magic, so like, what if they got my hit points down, and then my
Ours are literally the same.
Well, like, what if my armor enacts? That's magic. Would that count?
Well, yeah, would that count? Like her magic since her armor?
Magic. Unless it's like non-lethal damage. Does that make it count?
Remember that it's not just one hit. A certain amount of damage has to be done in one strike in order for the effect to actually take place. It's like 10.
10? Okay.
Like
So as long as they don't hit her with like minus 10 damage,
the
it
fact that
shouldn't.
it's bare knuckles.
So we'll be fine. So
Which is, in fighting combat, it is a d4 divided by 2.
But I want to watch
Plus
that.
your strength
I
modifier.
want to watch them fight each other because I want Jacob to beat his ass for being like
Which actually,
sneaky.
if you make a perception check on me.
I want to see.
20, natural 20. Natural 20. With a perception of +6.
26. As you look, you actually see, what was yours?
15.
15.
I just threw my pencil across the room.
Table.
Yeah. Laptop goes flying, notebook goes scatters everywhere.
You actually see, Jacob looks a little bit disheveled, but you notice he actually has a shiner forming. He actually has a nice shiner that's already forming, and as he slides down into the pit, he kind of looks like, come on. Wyatt grabs his hood and just kind of pulls it a little bit further over his eyes.
So we're wearing full cloaks and hooded into a fight. Are they trying to
it's like a half. It's like a half hood.
But still.
Like a hooded poncho. Everyone's getting punches in his head.
It's still cool. I mean, as you all breathe in and out, you all can faintly see your breath. It's chilly this morning. And the fact that this many people are already out shows they are either still slightly intoxicated or are looking to get intoxicated throughout the rest of the day.
Bro, it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's by the time you had your conversation and everything, it's approaching 7:30, probably around 8. Because by the time, you all had to put on your armor, you all got ready. I assume you washed your face, had something to eat. I assume you all kind of did all these little things in the morning to kind of prepare yourself. So it's more around 8 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he has his hood and he just kind of pulls it over, kind of gives him. And you see.
What was that?
Wait,
What was that?
who's this?
No, Wyatt looks at Jacob.
Oh, okay. I just wrote 6 zeros. I put six O's for hood.
Yeah. You see Jacob. Just kind of give it a shrug, and actually he wipes. And you can actually, from your natural 20, you can actually see he actually had his lip is cut. On this side, he kind of wipes and just kind of shrugs and he's like, all right,
Let's watch this thing.
he kind of gestures and he's like, come on.
I don't like Wyatt.
And Wyatt,
Because he's literally you, Mackenzie.
he walks forward and
this.
he slides down. He just does not look happy at all to be there. At which point you actually see 2 people. He kind of points to 2 people, which you noticed them in the bar the night before, and they were drinking kind of heavily. But it looks like they've already sobered up.
So I want more physical descriptions of Wyatt and Jacob and these two gentlemen. How do I, with my natural 20, can I get a little more description? Yes.
What kind of description?
All the descriptions. Like, I want to know how tall he is. I want to know how broad their shoulders are. Does he have nice hands? Does he have...
Either are they manicured or does he have calluses?
No, like, are they
What
like...
color are the calluses? Does he have smoking?
I want to know the juicy details. I rolled a 26. You're gonna give me the details.
Okay,
I demand the details.
so Jacob, his hair,
Jacob.
it kind of flops down, like it's not bangs, but it kind of like crests like along the side of his hair. It's not short cut, it's a little bit longer.
It's not
here.
a mullet, is it?
No, it's not a mullet, like, just like
That would be a negative 0.
the length of his hair kind of flops over almost into his eyes here. Just kind of a little bit, and then it's like a decent.
Like man bun worthy?
It's a little bit too short for man.
No!
It's a little bit too short for man bun.
But
But it looks kind of well-ish kept, kind of blonde. He kind of has these kind of smoky blue-green eyes. His features are structured in such a way that, with your natural 20 perception. He has very excellent facial symmetry. He has not shaved this morning, so there's just a little bit of bristle along his face.
Drool.
His nose, it looks like he possibly broke his nose at some point, but the way it kind of crooks just a smidge, it doesn't throw off his entire face. It actually kind of gives him a little bit of character. He has comparatively, kind of nice-ish teeth. I mean, when you glance around and see everybody else with swamp breath.
I don't know, the first, hold on, I made like notes. The first time you said that they had very nice teeth.
Well, yeah, in comparison to like everybody else. I mean,
No,
there's no crest to
they were
face
like-
here.
Okay, that's true, there is no question.
It's comparatively
Okay.
speaking, they're not like, completely like shining white, like you can't illuminate the night with these type of teeth. But they look nice.
They're not like crooked, they don't have
No. Yeah, it's not, piranha teeth just kind of jutting out from his mouth. His shoulders are not massively broad. They kind of they convey command and power, but also he doesn't look ripped to the point where he can't move.
I'm gonna say nicely proportioned.
Very okay, sure. You can say that. The proportions. He's
I don't like lean muscle.
both of them are he's more muscle than lean, but he's not like I can't fit through the door.
I don't mind that either, but
He's wearing long leathers right now. He's not wearing black leather. His Wyatt is wearing dark leather.
You said he was wearing what type of leather?
Just kind of dark leather, just kind of a mixture of browns and greens. Just kind of
Like leather pants, knee-high boots, just like a, what kind of shirt?
Yeah.
Like a fabric shirt with like a leather jacket? Is he wearing a half cloaky too?
Does he have sunglasses?
he is not wearing a half cloak, he is only wearing a scarf. Which actually, it's cold in the morning. He bundled it up around his neck whenever he was taking care of his horse, which actually, as he gets down to the ring, he actually takes it off.
Scarves. What color is the scarf?
It's the same.
If you say red like Mikasa from like Attack on Titan, we're done.
It's more like a collection of fabric in order to help keep his neck warm. It's not like a fashion scarf. It just kind of looks like it comes up and around to keep him warm. It's just kind of like these like dark browns. It's just these model dark browns. Kind of takes it off and throws it off to the side. Actually takes off his top coat, the top layer of his armor, and so it's just the straps of his armor.
Straps.
So you can see like along his, you can see his muscles. You can see his arms.
You can see his muscles.
Of course he does.
So he had like a coat on, and so he took the coat. So
Yeah,
he just has like a shirt and then like a chest plate.
He has essentially it's a chest plate. It's a leather chest plate.
I'm so into this.
He does have a few nicks and scars
So
along
he
his arm.
doesn't have a long sleeve shirt on. It's cold. He's got a scarf on, but he doesn't have a long sleeve shirt on.
He took it off for the fight.
No, but that was a top coat. That wasn't a shirt. That was just a coat. This man's a fool. He's gonna get cold as hell.
Is he?
It's about to get muddy.
He's about to get some sexy sweaty. What? I didn't say anything.
Yeah, and he's wearing leather pants. He has this.
So he doesn't have a shirt on. He just has a chest plate on.
Yeah.
Just.
He had on this coat kind of over top whenever he was working with this horse this morning. And then he takes it off.
This theme.
Dirty thoughts.
Oh, they're showing. Cram the back in.
Yeah, both of them are around 6 feet tall. Wyatt, on the other hand, dark, kind of brown black hair. What are you eating on?
I'm taking notes. I'm going to be like, I'm going to hold everything against this man. Well, you're only 6 foot long. Fuck you. I'm 6'2". Hell, beat your ass. A little punk sneaking around, talking shit.
Certainly more lean, and he does not remove any article of clothing. He has on his, kind of dark, brown black leathers. It's definitely a lot darker than his, tentative counterpart.
Okay, so Wyatt's wearing the darker.
Wyatt is wearing the darker armor.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, Wyatt's wearing the darker armor. He has his hood up still. You can see like his eyes are kind of like this hazily kind of color. Just kind of dark. He does not. It's just
How long is his hair?
Shoulder. From underneath, it is about the same. It's a little bit longer than Jacob's hair. It comes down a little bit longer. It's kind of a dark brown black that just kind of hangs in the back, and because his hood is up. You're not sure about the length, but it does look longer than Jacob's hair.
Okay.
You probably get a small man by now.
Yes.
Probably, maybe. And it looks a little bit wild from underneath from what you can tell from the shadows. His shoulders are a little bit more narrow, but he seems a little bit more adept. He seems a little bit more flexible. Black belts just kind of tied around his side. And he immediately, whenever he enters the ring, after kind of giving glare to Jacob, he kind of starts looking around and kind of kicking at some of the pieces of ice.
Oh. This man's about to pick up some ice and steps on the fucking
He is.
And jabs, throwing it.
I see.
And, he's not wearing gloves, and he just kind of has.
Was Jacob?
Jacob's not wearing gloves. He does not have any kind of bracers or anything else on his forearms, on his hands. He's just kind of cracking his knuckles. And
I put nibble, I meant nimble.
nibble.
He's very nibble. I mean nibble.
Nibbleable.
Nibbleable. No.
He's nibble alert, but what?
Yes. So we probably can't.
And
start
Wyatt
yet.
is just, also kind of bare hands, but he's kind of kicking at some of the ice. He's kind of wearing like the heftier looking boots, but they look a little bit, they're not as sturdy. They look lighter, but still well made.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we relocated.
We did a little bit of a relocation, but it's totally fine, totally normal. We're going to ignore that, ignore the cold, be next to the fire. This is fine. Alright, so you all watched as there was a certain interaction between Jacob and Wyatt as they kind of slide into the pit. You watch these two kind of larger, burly individuals. One of them kind of has this kind of like mud brown hair. The other one kind of has, looks like he's balding kind of in one of the spots. He's kind of got scars on some of his shoulders. It looks like they're both wearing kind of simple leather armor. And they also just kind of slide into the pit.
Watching.
And watching.
Watching.
And all of a sudden, they kind of raise their fists.
Wait.
Are we going to bet on this one? Because I'm feeling like a little bit of a betty.
I'm not betting on this one.
Oh, come on. I want to lay down some cash. I haven't heard the odds. I don't know what's even going on yet. All I know is he raised his hand, he pointed at him, and they all
are kind of looking around at the scene. You can see them kind of talking. They say like, yeah, here, and the kind of game master kind of comes over. Is like, you all understand the rules. Bare knuckles, no weapons, no magic, just the leather on your backs. And they all kind of nod in agreement. They say. One of the people actually nearby you who looks like they're kind of in charge of like running the thing.
And Adriel's still with us, right? And Zoom and Tilla?
Yeah, they're all.
So we're all together?
Yeah, everybody's kind of together. They're
Squad.
I'm just going to say that we definitely scooted forward a little bit, even unconsciously.
Subconsciously, you all inched forward a little bit closer to the pit.
Yes.
And the pit overall is probably about 50 feet. At least across
50,
from where you are, and then probably 60 or so feet long. So it's not like a perfect square. It's more kind of like this carved oval. Not a perfect circle. And based on the various pieces of terrain, it's probably near impossible to get some kind of perfect circle out of this nonsense. But after seeing the stature of these two individuals, even though they are just under 6 feet, both of them are broad, muscular, and the guy who's kind of standing nearby you kind of looks for a second. 5 to 1! Anybody here 5 to 1?
Damn!
Wait,
5 to 1, Jacob and Wyatt?
In
favor of them? Or not in favor? Oh!
Against.
Wait,
You can
against
make some
Jacob?
money, yeah.
Against.
Again, yeah.
Against.
Okay, so if I put
5 to 1, lay your bets!
I don't know. Maybe because one looks more intimidating than the other.
I mean, the little ones are all
Are you all discussing this?
No.
Actually, Adriel looks over to like, those are some pretty bad odds for our friends over there.
Yes.
She kind of
Yeah,
looks.
but that could also be in our favor. I mean, what's 100 gold? I'm just saying. It's just 100, but then that could be helpful later if I need to get something. I'm going to put 50 gold on Jacob.
50 gold?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Goodness
Is that a lot or
gracious.
not a lot? Is that a lot?
I don't bet. I don't know.
But that's I thought you said you were a better.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
5 to 1, 5 to everyone, kind of be.
I'm going to raise my hand and put 50 on the tall boys.
They kind of look and they're like, you sure about that? Those two are kind of known in the town. Oh wait, you're near.
There no.
Oh God, so they're bitches. Yes. That's
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go it. I didn't say any of that in person. That was all Sophia freaking out that she just fucking wasted 50 gold on these two idiots. But Talavin's just gonna be like, yeah, 50 gold on them. Let's see if they're worth our time to travel with.
A whole
As I
50
hand
gold.
them 50 gold.
He takes it and is like, you're not working with him, are you?
No.
He kind of leans over, like, okay. Gotta ask about the newcomers. Anyway, place your bets, and begins collecting things. Adriel actually also puts 25 gold on, she kind of leans over to like, 25 on the pipsqueak.
On the pips, oh God.
She kind of like licks her lip a little bit, and she's like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Best of luck to you.
And they go over, hands kind of in.
So you said that Jacob and Wyatt haven't seen us yet, though. Like they don't know that we're there, or they do now.
They don't see you guys right now. They're focused kind of on the fight. Right now, they're not really paying attention to the crowd around them. It kind of looks like they are.
Well, if they lose
dead
my
set
money, then they're
focused.
not coming with us. So they better fucking win.
You look as they kind of take their relative stance. Begin.
Madison has rolled 16 dice. Ha-cha! All of my dice at once!
Okay, so
Choose the rolls. Ooh, that would be an interesting way to go.
I don't know how to do math, so I'm going to check it.
What do you need to multiply?
No, I'm just doing 636 minus 50.
Yeah. So the first
probably about to
thug
lose.
rushes in and goes to hit Jacob first.
You say, so one of them has brown hair and one of them has what hair? Just so I can tell the difference between these two.
they both kind of have this like kind of muddy brown hair.
Great.
That they just kind of have like heavy set jaws, thick kind of jowls, a little bit beefy. It looks like they
look exactly the same.
They look very similar.
That's yikes.
They are definitely similar. The first one kind of rushes in and goes to take a swing at Jacob, who steps to the side and it goes right by his head. You can see the hair kind of blow back from the side of his face. And you just see him kind of grin. He's like, my turn. And he...
So it's pairs against pairs.
It's kind of like this.
Okay, I didn't get that.
He rushes over and goes to kick at the one guy, and he just kind of dodges.
Jacob does?
Jacob does.
And he dodges. They both miss?
They
They're trash.
both miss. Wyatt, on the other hand, I'm gonna separate this a little bit.
Why?
Wyatt, on the other hand, rushes forward and goes to take a swing at the one guy. And that will hit. Actually, yeah, that one will hit. So he, with a clenched fist and a dropped dice, deals 1 damage and
1 damage, damn.
No. He deals the one of them.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah.
He punches him?
Yeah, he punches him.
Deals 1 of the damage. 1 damage.
Where does he punch him?
He scratches his nose. Probably something like jaw.
Into his skull.
Maybe like the skull. Maybe the neck.
He kind of darts down off to the side, and actually he moves around his body. And from the back of his head, as the guy swings around, manages to kind of clip him on the ear, dealing him. Huh?
I said lots of math.
Lots and lots of math. The one guy, seeing Wyatt kind of rush around him, decides he's going to go back with a back swing. He misses. He swings around wildly, and Wyatt just manages to dodge out of the way. The other one goes after Jacob. Ooh, that's a hit.
Oh.
Jacob. Yikes.
Damn, he's already dead. He's already unconscious. 1 hit.
The one seeing Jacob kind of rush in, kind of give him a quick tap, kind of looks up at him. He goes, "Wrong day to play." And kind of cracks him over top of the head, and he kind of buckles for a second. He kind of stumbles back, and he's kind of throwing his head. He's like, "Oh, I see how you like to play."
That was kind of
that's a hit as Jacob kind of rushes forward and kind of with the base of his fist just pop goes up and manages to whack the guy's nose.
I just missed that entire section.
In the meantime, Wyatt kind of goes in as the guy swings up and around. He actually grabs his hand and twists it, and is going to go for the same kind of quick fist punch to his face. That's a hit. Ooh, deals him another mathing.
Do you need help?
No, I don't. I don't need help.
I can run this entire thing
I can do this entire fight on my own. The other one, as he comes up and pop, he gives him a nice clean shot right to the face. You can see he kind of reels back, but now he has his arm kind of nearby. He kind of grabs him on the shoulder and he goes in for a side swipe. That misses him.
Wyatt the misses? Or the other
No,
one?
the other guy. The other guy swings his fist and he kind of leans back and it just kind of glances right over his head. You can see he's definitely. They are both in it to win it. The next one goes to take another swing at.
This entire time,
Jacob.
me and Adriel are just slowly creeping closer and closer to the front. Yes, yes, get them again.
The other one manages to take Jacob again, and this time drives his elbow across his face. Jacob spins around and tries to give him a good hearty kick on his back side. That is a natural 20.
Who got that elbow? Who got the elbow to the face?
Jacob got an elbow to the face. The side of his head is
Shit.
as the one guy whips around, cracks him with the side of his elbow, he spins around and using that same momentum, he kind of coughs up the blood and spins around with a kick and catches the guy right in the jaw.
Texas Walker style. Walker Texas Ranger.
6 points of damage.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to write this down. It's too fast. I'm gonna have to write it down later.
Yeah, because he clipped him with a natural 20. So you watch as Jacob, who's taken several hits, Wyatt hasn't taken any hits yet, but Jacob's taken several hits, and as he whips around with his heel just... And you can actually hear this slight crunch as one of the guy's teeth actually collides with the other and kind of grinds and twists in his jaw.
I've never been so attracted to someone in my life.
That is Jacob's turn. Okay, so now it is Wyatt's turn.
Why?
They actually did that. Okay,
Some
so
help with this
Wyatt,
roleplay.
it is Wyatt's turn. As he ducks out of the guy's hand, he sees he's got an opening, and he goes in for a knee.
He grabs the back of this guy's neck. Just wham!
No, he's got his arm kind of tucked underneath, and just using his free arm to kind of give him the extra momentum, he just drives his knee
This is
directly
full
into
MMA.
his,
Like, I'm so
into his
turned on right now. This
he
is so
manages to hit deals. The guy winces,
Solar plexus, yes.
but he only managed to clip one side of him because he kind of grins as he goes in to give him a quick uppercut.
To Wyatt. Is Wyatt gonna get the
his,
sword?
no, he misses Wyatt again. As he goes in for an uppercut, he dodges back, and you're beginning to see that Wyatt is definitely more dexterous when it comes to this kind of combat. He's dodging quick, precise movements, being missed by mere inches from his face. So that ends that guy's turn. It is back to the other guy. So after being cracked across the jaw, the one just kind of looks back at Jacob, and there's just kind of this little bit of blood trickling out the side of his lip.
They're all humans, right?
They're all human.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss something.
They're all human. He goes to tackle him, and when he rushes forward, he dives, slips on the ice.
The first guy does?
The first guy does. The first guy slips on the ice, pop, just lands on the ground, and Jacob actually leaps and tumbles over top of him. And the guy is now prone. So now that it's Jacob's turn, he has advantage, and he's gonna curb stomp him.
Oh, knock all his teeth out.
That is an extra 17 with advantage, so he takes his heel, kind of rushing up, and poof, goes for a quick jab to the jaw. Okay.
Only people can take this many hits.
I mean, a fist still only does like half of the d4 damage every single time, plus the strength.
It still hurts in real life. It does.
It still hurts. In the meantime, Wyatt, who managed to dodge once again, kind of looks down, and he doesn't like being in front of this guy, so he actually whips his arm around and goes to twist it to try and dislocate it.
Ew.
He misses. As he's got his arm, this guy is just a little bit too burly for his certain physique. And so as he manages to twist his arm up and around, but as he goes to lift, to try and dislocate it, to crack it out of place, the guy's arm just locks up, and Wyatt kind of glances over, and the guy just blood kind of trickling out of his nose, just kind of gives this grin as it's his turn. That is a natural 19.
Ooh,
Wyatt takes his first hit, but it is a glancing blow as...
Out of 19?
No, the amount of damage. The amount of damage.
Okay, gotcha.
As he takes his arm, yanks it forward, and gives him a nice crack on his elbow.
Damn!
He takes the hit kind of in the face, partially stunned in the initial moment, as you can see a little bit of blood kind of trickle out of his nose. Something probably cracked.
Right now. This is weird.
It's weird?
I love it.
In the meantime, is the other guy, and he is prone. He tries to stagger to his feet.
Give a nice shot to the ribs.
Actually, no, he's actually going to try and grapple, which won't take damage, but if you can manage to grapple Jacob to the ground, he can have him pinned. That is a natural 18. So you watch as this guy, as he's kind of doubled over, slick on the ice, takes his back leg and kind of kicks out, knocking Jacob's feet out from under him. He slips on the ice and kind of lands with this dull thud as the ice kind of cracks underneath of his body. And the one guy, he used his action in order to knock him prone. And he kind of goes over and he's going to try and pummel him, but he has to do that on his next round. Actually, this is going to be a contested strength to see whether or not he grapples him or not. He fails. As Jacob is on the ground, he manages to kind of use the sliding motion. As he goes to grab him, he takes his feet on the guy's boot, and Jacob just pushes and slides backwards.
Like an ice skating rink.
Yeah, like an ice skating rink.
Or bobsledding.
Yeah. He takes his movement to get up, and he kind of looks around, making sure that Wyatt's okay. And he actually kind of waits. He waits for the guy to come to him. In the meantime, Wyatt, who is kind of taking that crack to the face, kind of reels back, and he goes to kick. Misses. He swings out with his leg, and his foot kind of slips a little bit on the ice. In the meantime, the guy is actually going to try and grab. He also misses. They're both kind of slipping around a little bit right now. As Wyatt goes to swing wide, he swings a little bit wide, and the guy tries to catch his foot. And when he does it,
natural one land on his face.
He manages to catch himself. Both of them manage to catch themselves, but they both kind of take that moment to kind of calm themselves. In the meantime,
their face.
Jacob goes actually in for a quick rush, and he is going to try and just slide in and nail the guy.
Sliding? Elbow!
Slide and nail with the elbow. That is a miss. He kind of
slides right past.
wait, hang on. Just barely misses. He slides in and he goes to tap the guy on his knee, and he manages to hit, but it's not enough to knock him out. As it is that guy's turn. That hits.
Like Jacob's gonna be unconscious here in a minute.
Probably.
Yep.
And then Wyatt's going to see him today. Not that I like
He's being all dexterous and dark and mysterious.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to hurt. It looks like some of them are starting to hurt.
Me and Adriel on the sideline. Get him! Get him! Quit flying around! What are you doing? Get your feet under you!
You're skating.
In the meantime, so he manages as he
Nora's
goes
being
in.
uncool. This is not figure skating! And then she goes back to
He goes in and kind of boxes him on the side of the head with an open fist. He goes to kind of clap him on the side, and he manages to hit.
This is the second guy hit Wyatt?
Yeah, the second guy hit Jacob. So now it's Wyatt's turn.
Wait, no. The second guy hit Wyatt. Wyatt's fighting the second guy.
No, we went to Jacob. Jacob went back to the other guy to fight him.
What?
Yeah, Jacob was fighting the one guy, went and tried to knock out his knee. And so because he wasn't able to, the one guy just claps him on the side of the head as they were
the second guy clapped him on the head.
The one that Jacob was fighting.
Clapped Jacob on the side of the head.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we went back to Wyatt because you said Wyatt, and so I was thinking of Wyatt.
Now it's Wyatt's turn. So Wyatt.
Yes, go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wyatt does not manage to hit the guy as he kind of rushes. He's just trying to find an opening, and both of them manage to kind of gain their balance as he kind of goes to lunge forward. His feet kind of slip out from under him again. You can see him it looks like he's really getting frustrated with himself. The other guy.
This man's got long legs.
The other guy goes to take a swing, and he goes a little bit too wide, and Wyatt manages to duck as it kind of goes over his head. In the meantime, it is Jacob's turn. Jacob does manage to land a hit after being clapped on the side of the head. He uses, as he's kind of down lower on the ground, he lunges up and pop right underneath of the jaw. 2, 3.
I would not want that to happen.
It hurt.
And you hear the people, just kind of cheering and shouting. In the meantime, the other guy is going to try and give him another thunderclap. That hits.
Oh, he gets another thunderclap. Good lord, this man needs to learn to block.
As he kind of reels back, he kind of like instinctually goes to grab for his head and pop, just claps him on the side of the head.
The first guy. Jacob hits the first guy. Thunderclaps him back. Yes. Thunder and lightning.
That is his turn. So now it is Wyatt's turn. Wyatt goes in for another.
Goes in for another. Loses dice.
Loses dice. I have to remember that dice over there. He goes in after both of them. After he kind of misses, he is going to go and just try and clock the guy on the side of the head. His fist. That's a natural 19.
What time is it? Clock.
Clobbering time.
Yeah, the one guy, as Wyatt's kind of low, he leans forward and just kind of, with the side of his fist, just pops him right in the ear. And you can see the guy kind of reel back and kind of rattles his head as he kind of feels him there. He goes to swing back and actually tries to grab him. That misses, actually.
Damn. These sons being...
He whips around, tries to grab him, but just a little bit too slippery. Actually, that's contested strength. Yeah, he manages to get out. And so now they're facing each other. In the meantime, it is Jacob's turn. Jacob, now being thunderclapped again, he is not having it, and so he's facing directly on this guy, and he's just going to drive his leg right up. That hits. Again, he just can't get right in the middle. That is a 3. Oof. It's starting to look a little bit rough.
You're really good, lord. I want to see that damage sheet. I'm like, how much damage do these...
I mean, they're only using their fists at the moment.
Fisticles.
So the other guy is going to try and, after getting whacked in the leg, the other guy is going to try and return the favor. Miss. Now it is Wyatt's turn. It's going to just try and hit. Okay.
So much math. There's so much math.
You get
I
really
didn't realize I was playing D&D to take math.
You get really good at small addition.
Yeah. What's reverse
Small
addition? Subtraction.
Yeah.
Subtraction.
As the guy kind of whips around and tries to grab Jacob, he actually drives his forehead directly into his face. It says he kind of...
How do you not take damage on your own attacks when you're driving your own forehead into somebody else's
He's
face?
He's prepped and ready for it.
I have no idea. I've tried it. It's not.
One
It
guy's
doesn't
actually
work.
going to try and just try to bring down his hands directly onto Wyatt's skull. That hits.
Wait, did Jacob hit him with his head? Or did he miss?
Wyatt hit him, and now
Hit
he's
the
going to
other
return
guy.
the favor. He kind of clasps his hand and brings it down again onto...
On Wyatt's head?
On Wyatt's head.
Oh.
Kicks. Now it is Jacob's turn, so he has had just about enough of all of this.
He's the one that started the whole thing.
He is. Well, he came out with the shiner anyway, so.
Yeah, he already came in with a shiner. Comes in, manages to hit as after he kind of almost gets tagged. Or no, wait, yeah. Yeah, after he kind of gets tagged, he's like, this is going to be fun. And he grabs the guy around the collar and just drives his head directly into the other guy. They're kind of in this like partial grapple, and he just drives his forehead directly into his face.
Owie.
Owie. That is.
Owie.
Whew. Yeah, as he just grabs him and you all hear this as the guy's nose is partially concave into his face. In the meantime, Wyatt, after getting just whacked on top of the head, you can see he's thinking about it for a second, and he's like, found my target. He just uses his elbow and just crack into him. That just barely hits. Ooh, and good damage, so that is 3. They're both looking rough.
All 4 of them are just the two of them?
All 4 of them. All 4 of them are just...
I feel like Wyatt's probably still doing the best.
Wyatt's doing the best. Wyatt's doing the best so far. In the meantime, he managed to get a solid hit, just whack, and you hear the just kind of gasp for a second as the guy just kind of looks at him, and he goes to drive his knee directly into his jaw. misses. As he goes to drive his knee in, Wyatt kind of uses that momentum, kind of leaps back, and the knee just kind of rushes right by him. And you can actually see from his, the
Cloak.
Yeah, from the cloak that was on him. You can actually see it brushes. The knee actually brushes his cloak as he kind of like leaps back. It is now Jacob's turn. He is going to, after...
So he headbutted this dude.
He headbutted.
And then what did the other dude try to do?
He tried to headbutt him back.
Did they miss?
He missed.
Ooh, that's
So now Jacob's going to return the favor. He actually releases him and goes to clap him on both sides with his fists. That is a natural 16.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. He takes his fist and pop! Just on both ears, just claps him on the side of the head, and the guy kind of partially stunned, just blinks.
I'd be seeing starlight.
And you all can actually see, like, they have been pounding on each other's, like, faces, just trying to, like, deter all of their senses. That as you all kind of, like, glance around, you hear the crowd, oh! You can actually see a little bit of blood where he had actually tried to grab his ears and had scratched his ears whenever he clapped.
I see a sky full of stars in the middle of the day.
Little tweaky birds rolling around your head.
Wyatt, after leaping back, kind of grins at the guy and he goes in for another kick, this time directly to the face. He misses as his foot kind of slips over
It's really winning.
The other guy tries to grab his foot again and is just going to try and actually knock him prone. So he's not actually going to do damage this round. He's just going to try and get Wyatt on the ground because he is a slippery little sucker.
Yeah.
That misses as he goes to grab his foot and kind of like this lumbering giant just everything's happening so fast. His foot just barely misses. Now it is Jacob's turn after Thunder
going
the
so
guy
fast, it's
on the
so
side. He is going to just pummel him right in the gut.
Solar plexus.
That misses as he goes to clap him. He hits his ribs,
At least
and there's no damage. As he oh no, he kind of glances up as the guy just kind of grins and actually goes
Technically, he wouldn't be glancing up; he'd be glancing down because apparently he was shorter. I thought he was shorter.
But he's looking down and he looks up into this guy's face.
And pause.
Okay, he just kind of glances up into his face.
Yes, we are good.
And at that, as he delivers his fist, the guy kind of tenses. And he just takes it, and he just kind of grins as Jacob kind of looks up into his eyes, and he goes in for a gut punch to Jacob. That actually misses. As he also, in quick succession, both of them just kind of pound into each other's guts.
Already
and
tense.
They're already tense, and they're just. You can just see it. You just hear the growling. You hear everybody just still like this cheering.
I'm like slowly starting to be like, wow, this is actually kind of brutal. Like, goddamn.
In the meantime, Wyatt,
kind of like
after almost getting grabbed again.
Is he gonna be done with
grappled,
the kicking now? like he's not being very
He
successful.
actually goes for a partial dive to whack the guy also in the gut to see if that will double him over at the very least. That hits. Oh, they're so close. I'm rooting for you guys, don't worry. I'm rooting for all my own NPCs.
Are they super close?
It's super close. It's super close. He slides on the ice, and you all watch. Like he drives his knees into the ground as he kind of leans back and just nails the guy right in the gut. And the guy, seeing him, is going to try and drive his knee into the side of his head. That it actually just hits. Just barely hits him. He manages to clip him in the jaw with his knee as he. You see him just kind of rub his jaw.
Maybe after this beating, it won't be such an ungrateful little ass.
Maybe. Jacob, in the meantime, as they're both kind of locked in this tension, fist on fist, you can just kind of see him nod as he goes to pound him just on the side of his head. That hits. this guy's looking really hurt as he takes his fist, kind of does this quick wind up, and with his offhand, whack, right across the jaw. You can actually see something hit the ice and skid across the ground.
Nicholas is coming to get you later. He needs some new ones.
In the meantime, the other guy is gonna try to return the favor off to the side. Whew, that hits.
Oh.
Does not deal as much damage as he managed to clock him on the jaw. Just,
You didn't tell me what time it was.
just pop as he lands. Yeah. So as Jacob kind of lands one on the jaw, he takes that same momentum and kind of delivers the exact same blow. They're really close, guys. In the meantime, Wyatt kind of glances over, seeing how rough he is. And I told you. You just barely hear him. And you can kind of see a smirk on his face as he goes in for a.
He was kneeling and they were sliding. Did you stand up?
He was kind of kneeling.
He was trying to trip him.
I thought did he get him to double over when he solar plexed him?
If the damage were a little bit more, that's what he would have done.
Too bad.
So he's kind of kneeling.
Needs to
He
be
gets
stronger.
clocked on the knee. He's gonna just go for another elbow, just directly in the gut. Just brings his elbow back and drives it right into the guy's into his kidney. That hits.
Kidney.
Well, this thing's her, fam.
Yeah, as he kind of leans back, he dodges off the side and crack. You all can actually hear the solid as his elbow makes contact. It's that guy's turn, and seeing that Wyatt is directly behind him, he's gonna just try and drive his fist directly back. Misses. He swings his arm back, and Wyatt manages to dodge again.
I'd be standing up grabbing that arm and whip that arm straight off his...
That's what he's gonna try and do next. But in the meantime, Jacob, after both of them kind of deliver this blow, this kind of same blow, they just kind of look at each other, and he's gonna try and kick him in his gut.
Oh God, not again. He's gonna
He misses.
Oh my God.
His feet kind of slide up under the other guy. Also goes in for a kick. Manages to just barely land a hit.
I'm so embarrassed that I wasted 100 gold on these fools. They're gonna get their ass.
He's getting.
Oh, I did. I did.
Wyatt, in the meantime.
Oh, I only did 50. Okay, that's good.
Wyatt sees the arm and grabs it, and since he's partially kneeling, just rises up and.
Oh, that sound! I can hear it in my head.
It doesn't dislocate the arm, but you all hear as he drives it up. There's a pop. There is a slight pop sound to it as he and he actually tries to wring his arm free and goes in for a punch as he goes to clutch his arm.
Let the people do this willingly.
He misses. Wyatt kind of steps back as he just clumsily stumbles forward and just tries swinging wildly. He's looking really hurt. Jacob, in the meantime, after getting clocked again, he's like, I have had just about enough of you.
Oh my. Well, if you've had enough, you better kick his ass!
That's a hit. This time, instead of going for a kick, he actually stomps on his foot, kind of darting forward and just crunching down on his toes through his boots. 3.
That's all he does? Is he grounding him before he's about to lock him out?
Oh yeah, he's trying to grapple the guy so he doesn't go anywhere, so he can deliver a final crack, but he has to wait till his next turn. The other guy, in the meantime, is gonna try and ram him in the ribs in the back. Natural 1. With the sudden crunch of his toes,
does it.
he kind of slips and kind of falls a little bit, and he's kind of looking up wildly. He knows what's coming for him. He knows this is going to be brutal. Wyatt, in the
Finish him.
Wyatt, in the meantime, just darts around and is going to try and clock the guy in the back of his head with his elbow. Natural 20.
Yay!
Finish him.
What? I mean,
You
jerk!
you see him, he's like, this is why we don't play nice with others. Crack! And the guy, out like the light, just collapses onto the ground. While
I'm screaming at this. No, actually, I'm gonna be calming down a little bit because I can. I'm gonna like slowly start moving towards the back of the crowd. Like I don't need to be
In
this
the meantime,
excited for people I don't
Jacob
know.
just kind of grins, kind of gives the guy a nod, does a quick double tap to his elbow, and instead of using his elbow, he actually just kind of goes in for there's another natural 20.
No!
Yeah.
You stay very calm.
As he goes, he actually uses his elbow and kind of knocks his head back before both of them
I love it, but I hate
fall
it, but I love it.
onto the ground, the cold hard ground, and both of them.
Ding, ding, ding.
Jacob looks a little bit worse for wear.
Jacob and Wyatt for the win.
Jacob looks a little bit more hurt than Wyatt as he kind of looks over at him.
And Wyatt's just
And
like,
both of them have just kind of locked eyes in this moment. And Wyatt goes to punch him.
oh my god!
That's a hit.
What the heck is this dude's problem?
Wyatt goes
I'm ready to go suplex this man.
Wyatt just kind of steps after they have this moment where they just kind of look at each other. Jacob just kind of grins. He's got a little bit of blood.
He's already about to pass out. He's gonna be unconscious.
And he just kind of shakes his head and whack! Just gives him a nice hard crack across the side of the face. He stumbles, coughing. He still has
this stupid grin on his face.
He just has 2 hit points left. The Wyatt cracks him across the side of the face.